Hi, everybody. Welcome to SuiteX. In this call, we are going to describe basic functionality and the user interface for SuiteX, which we've developed specifically to support NetSuite customers globally. In many cases, our SuiteX customers have professional services, advanced project management, perhaps construction, and even manufacturing, where we've built edge functionality to support specific limitations or gaps in the NetSuite environment while reducing total cost of ownership. Let's go to www.suitex.io. This will take us to our homepage. The dashboard's extremely useful for surfacing key information, key lists, and querying any important information that's important to the business as a whole, as well as the end user. To begin, we'll surface data in our dashboard based off of saved searches in the NetSuite environment. You'll notice I've got 3 different searches already built for projects, project tasks, and project task assignments. If we go into our project search, we'll see I've turned it on to be public, i.e. available to our end users. I'm querying specific data, in this case projects, and I'm defining the amount of records that I want per page. Just like in NetSuite, you'll see we're surfacing any and all information as it relates to a project in NetSuite. This is easily editable, so you can drag and drop the overall orientation, as well as check or uncheck records that you want to show to your end users in their dashboards. We've also got filters, so we can filter by one or many different records. So I've got subsidiary currently set to SuiteX. I'm going to select an additional filter, in this case status, and we'll see if we have statuses piped in, I can automatically filter by one or many. I can also update the filter to different records. So in this case, I'm going to select any project manager by selecting empty. I'm going to save my updates. We'll notice this automatically saves to our search. I can also view this search directly in SuiteX if I'm interested. And then to take this a step further, I'm going to go back to our home page. I'm going to go into the dashboard builder. I'm going to add a table, select the type of record that I want to pull into this search. I'm going to select the search that I want to surface, define if I want it to take the full column layout versus a half page or a third, and I can select one or many roles that I want to broadcast or publish this to. I'll click Save. We'll see by default, I've now got my project dashboard available, and it's automatically pulling in any projects that meet that save search criteria. In our case, subsidiary of SuiteX and any project manager. To take this a step further, let's say I want more than one dashboard. I can go back to my dashboard widget. I can add one or many tables. So in this case, I'm going to look for project tasks because we know we had a project task search. I'm going to select the search that we've already pre-populated. Again, keep it to a full page, and I'm going to publish this across all roles in the environment. Another useful piece of interface within SuiteX is the ability, again, to drag and drop the orientation. So let's say with my dashboards, I actually want project tasks first, followed by projects. I can simply click and drag the icon. We'll notice it's automatically saved. And if I go back to my home page or my dashboard, we're seeing by default, here's my project task search, as well as my project search. To take this a step further, within any and all dashboards, you've got the ability to filter within the dashboards themselves. So I'm going to update this once more, starting with projects, then project tasks. So in order to filter by project task assignments, we're going to use native NetSuite assignees. Again, we'll notice I have a project task assignment search. I'm going to expose this to all roles. I then actually want to move assignees to the top so I can see this front and center when I get into my homepage dashboard. I'm going to go back to our homepage, and voila, there's all of our project task assignments. We'll notice after we've built our dashboards, A, how quickly we're able to build these, but B, we've got the ability to filter these further if desired. So in this case, I can select a specific task since I've set that as a filterable criteria. I can also clear filters and then submit those changes once I'm satisfied with the results. You can also export to CSV or XLX automatically. Next, I'm going to go from our dashboard to one of our projects, in this case, ABC project. We're going to see by default, we've got a project record with any and all of our key information that we want to source to our users. You'll notice this is inline editable, as well as able to be modified directly within a project form. To update any information in our project form, we go to Customization, Forms. We're going to look for our specific record that we want to update. So in this case, I'm looking for a project. I'm looking for a standard project form, and I want to define which one is true, i.e. publishable or primary to our account. I'm going to go into the true. We'll see it's set as our primary. And then we'll see we've got the option to add groups, fields, sublists, as well as KPIs. First and foremost, within our field groups, we'll notice we can add one or many groups depending on what we need for our business purposes. In this case, we've got primary information by default. I'm going to add secondary information, and we'll see after I add this grouping, I'm automatically able to update any and all information and group it based off the new grouping that I've provided within the application. So in this case, I'm going to update project manager from primary to secondary information. I'm also going to update status from primary to secondary information. And I'm going to do the same for a couple other various records. If I save this form, go back to my project, we're going to see by default, we've now got a primary information group as well as a secondary information group. And by expanding or collapsing, we can see how those fields have been automatically reordered as well as reorganized within their desired groupings. To take forms a step further, we'll also notice above and beyond our fields, we've got the ability once again to drag and drop the order of our fields, dictate whether or not they're mandatory and or shown, as well as how and which we want to display them. We have the ability to add sublists, whereby we can pipe in any related records that we see fit for our business. So in this case, we're going to see we've already got project tasks. We've got a Gantt view, project task assignments, as well as documents. And again, you can modify these as these meet your business. I'll save my updates. I'm going to go back to our project and just refresh this. We'll see our sublists, which are project tasks, Gantt, assignee, documents, and comments. And if we start with project tasks, we're going to see this is automatically relating all project tasks to the project in question. We've got the ability to, by default, nest, i.e. collapse or expand our project and project task relationships with parent and children. So by default, I'm going to nest. We'll see when we nest, it automatically groups those underneath their parent, and it supports unlimited layers deep. So you can have multiple children or sub-children relationships directly within the application. To take this a step further, you're going to see it automatically then provides the project reference, the title, if there's any predecessors, if there's any assignments, i.e. project task assignees, status if applicable, and then any and all information that we want to surface from a project task perspective directly within the view. Please note, all of this information is configurable to your business use case. So specifically, if we want to update project tasks within a project task record or form, we simply go to the table that we want to modify. In this case, we're going to look for project tasks. I'm going to edit the project task table, which shows us any and all fields that are available to be mapped to that table, and then further allows us to modify the orientation of those fields in any order that we see fit, as well as define what, if anything, should be shown. As with all other SuiteX records, we've got the ability to add filters if we see a need. And again, we can save these updates, and we'll notice that immediately once we go back to that project record, we're going to see things like actual work versus allocated work were changed based off us resorting the table in the view. We hope this is extremely helpful as it's extremely nimble, quick to make changes, and easy to personalize for your end users. Back to our project form and our project task records. Again, I'm defaulting to nest by parent, I've expanded our parent and our child relationship, and we're going to see directly within our project tasks, we're exposing the assignees, which is extremely helpful to see in one view. In addition, we're able to make any type of inline updates as we see fit. We'll notice I approve the change, and this is automatically being routed back to NetSuite without the need to open new windows, pages, tabs, etc. Some additional functionality we think you'll find really helpful within project management. We've got the ability to add time entry to a project task. In addition, we've got the ability to add comments. I am going to search a user, in this case myself. I'm going to submit. We'll see it's commented, it's tagged me, and actually automatically logs the notification in the application. Taking this a step further, we've also got native subtasks, i.e. records that have no GL impact. We've also got the ability to add one or many project task assignments directly in line and within the list. And then last but not least, we've got the ability to upload documents directly into your cloud storage provider, be it Azure, GCP, AWS, just to name a few. After going through project tasks, I want to spend just a minute or two going through the Gantt. So one issue we see a lot of times in NetSuite is really an inability to make large or broad sweeping changes in NetSuite without opening multiple tabs, multiple pages, etc. We've extended the functionality, giving you the ability to make live Gantt updates with things like predecessor relationships via simple drag and drop interface. What you'll notice when I'm making changes to this drag and drop interface is it's automatically updating our start times for our project tasks, and further gives us the ability to either save and publish those changes or discard if we realize we've made a change we don't want to push into effect. Last but not least, we've got documents, so any type of document management, be it Google Drive, Workspace, etc. You're able to surface those documents directly within the application for usability, as well as for shared access across you, your clients, and or your partners.